I think this is 7. Just turn it down a little. And so I think if we allow God to help us, amen, God doesn't want us to test Him. He's really testing us, amen, to see if we're going to work and live our life of faith this morning. Think about that, amen. And so immediately the boy's father exclaimed, I do believe you can help me, amen. And he said, help me to overcome my unbelief. How many of you this morning, you believe God, but there's some challenges sometimes. I just don't know if I can believe Him for me. I can believe Him for my other family members, and I can believe Him for even my friends. But man, to believe God for my situation, I don't know about that. You know, you think about so many times when you get bad news and a bad report from the doctor, and you can believe God to heal sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so, but you're like, I don't know, I've got my faith pack on, but I just don't know if God can do it for me. God can do anything, amen? But the Bible declares that if we can just believe, all things are possible this morning. You think about so many times, even in our economy, you know, the economy has bottomed out, amen? And nobody likes to talk about the economy. It's a sore subject. But you know what? The deal is, I believe God is just trying to get our attention, amen? To allow us to use our faith packs and trust Him, amen? And He will catch you. The Bible declares that the father exclaimed. That word exclaim in the Greek means to croak, if you will. I mean, he literally, he screamed as a raven. He said, I believe, amen, and did whatever he could to get Jesus' attention. I don't know for you if you've ever been in dire straits, but when you're in dire straits, you'll try to do anything to get God's attention, amen. You'll cry out to Him at that point and say, God, I need you in my life, amen. And so Jesus immediately cast out the evil spirit. But this is where the rubber meets the road. Here are some obstacles that we have to our faith. Obstacle number 1, we demand a sign. Well, God, if you will make that car turn blue, I know that you are God, and I know that you'll hear my prayer. God, if you'll just let it rain today. I don't know, it's sunny, but if it rains today, you will hear my prayer. Amen. How many of you ever threw a sign to God? God, I need some fine. If you just let a dollar bill flow my way, I know that you're hearing my prayer. Amen. How many of you just ever done something? You look for a sign. Amen. God, I'm driving down this road, and I know that if it's your will for me to be wherever, that you'll give me a sign. Amen. We're all sign seekers. Amen. We demand faith from God sometimes. And yet God is simply saying that is an obstacle, and it's unhealthy, really. You know, there was someone in the Bible that fleeced God and put a fleece out, amen, and looked for a sign, and the fleece was wet because of the dew, and he knew that God was still with him. But the deal is this: there are some that have secondhand faith. Secondhand faith. You know, well, I know that God can do it, but I know because my mom was a prayer warrior and my daddy was a prayer warrior that I must be all right. Amen. Grandmama prayed for me, so I must be all right. I must be on my way to go to heaven. Amen. And that's what we call second-hand faith. Amen. Mom and dad's faith, others' faith, grandma's faith, but not our own faith. Think about it this morning. And then there's the next thing. It's called self-centered faith, if you will. So many times, God, I don't know how many times that this probably happened to all of us, and we have all said it. God, if you will get me out of this mess, I will do this. God, if you do this, I will do this. God, if you just help me right now to get it all together, God, I'll serve you for the rest of my days. How many of you have ever said that? Amen, I have. God, if you'll just deliver me out of this situation, God, I promise you, I won't never sin again. Amen. How many have said, we'll do anything. Amen. And yet, those kind of things are obstacles to real faith. But my real faith this morning helps me to understand that, you know what, no matter what the situation may look like, God is still on the throne. Amen. Jesus was coming, and this boy needed God to do something in his life. But the deal is this: in order for us to develop our real faith, and know what God really is doing, our faith has to be tested. Amen. Just one more last video. Chris is going to talk about our faith being tested. When we allow our faith to be tested, then God can really do something and work with us. Think about this.